Hi guys, this video demonstrates how to create a 3D model of the Among Us character using Tinkercad. First, let's drag a cylinder and a sphere onto the work plane. Next, we need to align them, so select both objects and click on the Align tool at the top. This displays the alignment tool, and we need to click on the middle dots along the same plane as the work plane, which, as you can see, lines them up perfectly for us. To remove our selection, we can click anywhere outside of the current selection. Next, we need to select the cylinder and move it up 10 mm by dragging the up arrow until the number reads 10. Then select the sphere at the bottom, duplicate it and drag it up 20 mm. The two spheres and the cylinder will form the body of our spaceman later on, but first we will use the bottom sphere and the cylinder to make the legs. Select the bottom sphere and the cylinder and group them to make our first leg. We're going to shrink the leg, but before we do, let's duplicate it to make our body with later on. Hide the duplicate so it doesn't get in the way while we're working on the legs. Now we're going to reduce the size of our leg to 10 mm. Hold the Shift key down when scaling the object to scale the whole object. If you don't hold the Shift key, you will have to scale the height after the width and depth. Notice here, you can simply type 10 into the sizing box, and because we clicked on the sizing handle with the Shift key, all three dimensions, width, depth and height, will be changed. Fantastic, we have our leg. Then we duplicate the leg and slide it across. I recommend using the right arrow key on the keyboard to move the duplicated leg, as it gives you more control and only moves in one direction. Next, select the two legs and group them together. We now have our two legs. Now we need to unhide the lower body object that we hid earlier and group it with the top sphere. This will form our body. You can see here the body and the legs need to be realigned. So select both objects and click on the alignment tool, then select the two middle alignment dots to realign the two objects. Now let's resize the body. I am going to type the new size values in one at a time, as they are all different. So I click on the little black sizing boxes one at a time while holding down the Alt key each time, so that the object is sized symmetrically around its center, meaning the center of the object won't move. Set the width to 24 and the depth to 16. I don't hold the Alt key for the height, as we just want to move the top down. If I held the Alt key, the bottom would rise as the top lowers. Try it, and don't forget to undo the change afterwards. So we set the height to 29. Now lift the body up 9 mm, and there we have our body and two legs. Should your body and legs not be centered at this point, simply select both and use the alignment tool as before. Now we're going to make the mask of the spacesuit. To do this, duplicate the body and pull it forwards a little so we can see the changes we make. Then change the sizes, remembering to hold down the Alt key for all three dimensions this time, to keep the mask center where it is now. Set the width to 16, the depth to 10 and the height to 11. If your mask doesn't look central, then adjust the position. Again, I suggest using the arrow keys on the keyboard to move it left, right and forwards, backwards, and hold the Control key to move it up and down with the arrow key. To make the backpack, we need to duplicate the body again and move it back a little so we can see our changes. Then set the width to 10, the depth to 12 and the height to 16. Remember to hold the Alt key so that the object's center doesn't move. If you need to tweak the position of the backpack afterwards, I recommend using the arrow keys on the keyboard again. Here I change the color of the mask by selecting it and clicking the color that I like. Finally, select all the elements and group them together. Notice how all the parts become the same color. So I select the color again and click on the multicolor option at the bottom of the window. And then you can see we get our original colors back. To make small changes, we can double click on our grouped object and select the individual elements to change them. Here you can see I change some of the colors. When done, simply click away from the object. And voila! One 3D model of an Among Us spaceman.